vodka for showstopper. More shampoo, #1 club hopper. Got a hangover like too much vodka. Can't see me with 10 binoculars. So cool, no doubt by the end of the night. Got the clothes coming off, then I make that move. Somehow, someway, gotta raise the roof. All black shades when the sun come through. It's on like everything goes. Wild life, baby, to the freak it shows. What happens to that body is a private show.
We're now only 26 days away from the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania 28 from Sun Life Stadium in Miami, Florida. And when you really get this close to WrestleMania, there's a lot of buzz, a lot of talk. The wrestling sites go into overdrive, the dirt sheets go into overdrive, trying to get spoilers, trying to get the first to get the breaking news. I'm not going to do that here. What I'm going to do is look at every single match that's been officially announced by World Wrestling Entertainment, looking at them, previewing them, and giving you my honest opinion who I think is going to walk away right now with the victory on April 1st. And maybe that might change over these 26 days. It'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting for myself to listen back and see what I thought of going into the event this far away. Yes, I know we're only 26 days away, but it's still a lot of time for things to change backstage in World Wrestling Entertainment, as they're known, especially around WrestleMania time. They have been known to change a lot of results in WrestleMania. But before I get to that, let's start with the WrestleMania news. Well, the only really news of any significance is that Shawn Michaels has been added to the Hell in a Cell as the special guest referee. It's interesting. I get on more about that when I come to the match preview later on in the video, but it is very interesting, in fairness, that Michaels has been thrown into this. There was big triple threat calls on Raw this week. I don't see Michaels coming back to the ring unless it's for something huge, one-on-one huge. But really, Michaels is that kind of guy that would never come back. I'm surprised to actually see him on this card. So let's start by looking at the matches that have been officially announced for Miami in Sun Life Stadium. And we start with the Intercontinental Championship match between the Big Show and Cody Rhodes. Look, if you listen to my early WrestleMania update, you know where my feelings are about Big Show being on this card. I think there's no need for it. Really, I just don't see why Big Show is such a big influence backstage, and why WWE think they have to put him on this WrestleMania card. There's better opponents for Cody Rhodes, and quite frankly, I know a lot of people would think that this won't really work, but why not have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton? There's a good WrestleMania match for you. I know Orton would be fighting for the secondary championship, but let Cody get the win. You don't have to put the IC belt on Orton. It's just about going into WrestleMania and having a stellar good match, and I don't think Cody could have that with the Big Show, because Cody, he's still a rookie in big time matches. And you're going into a WrestleMania. When he fought Rey Mysterio last year, it was fast paced, energetic. What are you going to do next year? You're actually going to have Cody Rhodes and the Big Show. One is a powerhouse, dominant force, and the other one is a fast moving, quick wrestler. The dynamic is just way, way apart. If Cody Rhodes was 3 or 4 years down the line, probably do it then, like, but not in his early days. Like, this is only his second one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and you're going to stick him in there with something like the Big Show. My way of looking at this is, I hope I'm wrong on this. I really see White coming out with the victory. I really see Big Show coming out with the victory, and I tell you, it could be a very bad thing for Cody, because to have the belt on you means that they have plans for you and think something of you. And when they take the belt off you, you become an afterthought, because like, Cody's not going to go towards the World Heavyweight Championship for the next couple of months, and Big Show's not going to lose the belt straight after winning it. So what happens to Cody then? Does he fall into obscurity? Or maybe this is the way to start the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton feud. They had a mini feud at the end of last year, but it never amalgamated anything, because Orton went into the feud with Wade Barrett. After that, we look at the World Heavyweight Championship match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. And I said this on my Raw review, and I'm going to say it again. Sheamus, will you ever stop fucking smiling at everything? You know, that is something that really, really, really pisses me off with Sheamus. He just smiles way, way, way too much. Now, it's not really a spoiler or not really news, but there has been rumblings around the back of Titan Towers that WWE Creative are thinking about putting this match on as a dark match. Are you fucking serious? The World Heavyweight Championship as a dark match would be a joke. Now the word is that they're not happy with the work that Sheamus is doing. Really, I'm not a big fan of Sheamus, but what did he fuck up? They're after putting no investment into this World Heavyweight Championship match. There's not even been a promo between the two together. Yes, Sheamus said some stuff in the ring and Daniel Bryan said some stuff backstage last week on SmackDown, but really, like, there's been no kind of hype behind this World Heavyweight Championship match. Even this week on Raw, when you had the tag team match, more emphasis was put on the WWE Championship than the World Heavyweight Championship. The road for glory too for these two individuals has been very, I'm not going to say different, because a lot of the people in America won't really know what the Irish wrestling scene's like over here. It's very, very dull. You're lucky if you get 100, 200 to a show, and Sheamus wrestled in the top on IWW for 5 years. Now what I mean by the road to that is that Daniel Bryan wrestled in Ring of Honor and Indies for nearly 10 years, and when he went to WWE he had to put another 2 years in of absolutely doing nothing. Yet Sheamus, within a year, Sheamus putting pen to paper with WWE, he was WWE champion. He never really had to fight for his place in the company. He was always there or thereabouts, and really I don't get to see the big hype behind Sheamus. He's not terrible, but he's not brilliant either. He never, the best thing I could say about Sheamus is that he's okay, and to say that about a World Heavyweight Champion, it's not brilliant. Now personally, I think that WWE are really looking over the WrestleMania fans aspect. When you go to things like Raw, SmackDown, the second rate pay-per-views as they call them, you don't get the fans you're going to get at WrestleMania. You're going to have people from all over the world. You're going to have proper wrestling fans. Nearly 80% of that crowd are going to be proper wrestling fans. I think Daniel Bryan will have the crowd on his back in Miami. I really think he will. I think the crowd will be behind Bryan 100%, and WWE are not really doing anything to really get people behind Sheamus. Like, let's face it, if you watch a match between a giant that's destroying everything and a kind of a quick-witted thief, you're not going to bloody cheer for the giant, and that's what Sheamus is doing. Sheamus is knocking off people 1, 2, 3, thank you, goodbye. But Daniel Bryan is struggling and just barely winning matches, and has, it's just like, why would you get invested, and why would you go and root for Sheamus when all he's doing is destroying people week in, week out? That's not a good face. That's a heel's job, for a heel to destroy people, so when the face comes to beat up, there's that big fucking moment. It's just, I don't get the logic or the point behind it one bit. Do I want this to be a dark match? No. Is it a possibility? Probably. It probably is a possibility to be a dark match, because there's not much going in behind it. There's really not people. If this was for the World Heavyweight Championship, people... If this wasn't for the World Heavyweight Championship, people be complaining that it's on the WrestleMania card. There's no build-up. There's no interaction there. There's no investment. There's no reason to go for one or the other. And there's no history between these two. Yes, they had that thing last year for the United States Championship, but that came and went as fast as it came. So, like, you're going into WrestleMania, and you have two guys going for the World Heavyweight Championship, your second biggest title, and there's just such a about it. It's ridiculous. I see Sheamus coming out with the win, by the way. I really can't see Bryan holding it at WrestleMania, and I fear for Bryan after he drops the belt. I really do, because he did a lot of good work with the belt. I know people are going to say, he wasn't great, but look what he had to work with. Mark Henry in the Big Show. I'm a fan of Mark Henry because he did some great stuff as a heel with the belt, I think. But Daniel Bryan is a wrestler. He likes to get down and dirty and have good, solid wrestling matches, and you're not going to get that with the Big Show and Mark Henry. And with Sheamus is a brute. I don't know, maybe I could be 100% wrong on this issue, but I can't see Sheamus having a 15-minute wrestling match with Daniel Bryan. Because the way I look at this match going, I see it get 12 to 15 minutes. Now, in every single match that Daniel Bryan has had lately, he's had that moment where he goes for the belt to walk away. Now, you're going into the biggest show of the year, and he's doing that for the last 2 or 3 months. He has to do it at WrestleMania. I don't want him to do it. I don't think he should be doing the full stop. But really, he has to do it. And that's going to take a minute and a half out of the match. I just cannot believe how insignificant a World Heavyweight Championship match is. I thought last year was bad. But this year, it's like they don't even care on the card. And then after that we go to the... I'm thinking about what to do next. The WWE or Hell in a Cell. You know what? I'm going to do Rock Cena next. I'm going to look at Rock Cena. And I'll leave the other two to the end. Rock Cena lately, I think they're putting way too much effort in trying to get Cena over. They're not letting Rock be Rock. And that's what I think this WrestleMania needs. It needs the old Rock back. But like even this week on Raw, it's getting to the stage of uncomfortable to watch it, because as much as I watched The Rock through the years and people have watched them on YouTube, everyone has seen what The Rock did. The Rock has been a funny guy since he came in the door. He was always a funny, entertaining guy. I've never seen The Rock go up to any individual, Triple H, Undertaker, Austin, Kurt Angle, even Rikishi when they had that feud. I can never remember The Rock going up to someone and absolutely straight face saying, I can rip your throat out. If I'm wrong, say it, but I really can't remember a time when The Rock said that to anyone, and The Rock was this intense and serious. And John Cena just took it as a joke. I really don't think these guys like each other. Because if that was anyone else in the ring with The Rock, I think it would have been given a big... He would have sold it. Cena pretty much no sold it. It was like, look at this guy. He's getting all up in my hizzle. The way I see this going, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have shouted The Rock, but I really don't know which way they're going to go with this, because the point you got to look at, and I'm a Rock fan to the end, so like, it's actually hard to think about John Cena winning, but really, WWE might be thinking in long terms, like, what benefit do they get out of The Rock beating John Cena? See, the way you gotta look at it is that if The Rock beats John Cena, everyone is still going to be talking about how better The Rock is than John Cena. If John Cena beats The Rock, they'll be still saying The Rock is better than John Cena. But if Rock wins, then people are going to have that ammunition to throw and say, look who won at WrestleMania. Even if Cena wins this match, which I hope he doesn't, I really hope he doesn't, but if he does, people are still not going to say that Cena's better than The Rock. So I think WWE are really starting to think, why give the victory to The Rock? Because you have someone in John Cena that's going to be there week in, week out, and you can build something off that. Personally, this feud in the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, has proven that none of these guys needed to go heel for the feud. But personally, I think win or lose, Cena needs to go heel the next night on Raw. The face thing with Cena has just completely stopped. Everyone is just completely sick of him. Like, this rise above hate thing is a bunch of shit. So if I had to pick, I'm just going to be out there. If I had to pick who I think WWE are going to give the victory to at WrestleMania, I think they're going to give it to Cena. I really do. I just think WWE are starting to think, what benefits is it with The Rock winning? But really, if Rock wins, this is the way I would book it if I was booking WWE. I have The Rock win. I have Cena come out the next night and just go completely apeshit on him and just get that nasty heel prick Cena back. Just have him destroy Cena, just have him destroy The Rock, because we all know The Rock is scheduled to wrestle at SummerSlam. You can have the second match there and have Cena cheat to beat him as the heel. You have 1-on-1, and then the next year's WrestleMania you can have the final encounter, the rubber match, whatever you want to call it, because we all know The Rock is going to be in MetLife Stadium. And now we go to the Hell in a Cell, and the news that Shawn Michaels is going to be the special guest referee for the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. Now, I might be a very, very small minority here, but really I don't get the point of this. I don't get the point in throwing Shawn Michaels in as a special guest referee, because no matter which way you look at this, even if he screws Taker or screws Triple H, you can't work off if Michaels is retired. Like if he pins the 1, 2, 3 and screws the Undertaker, that would just be a complete slap in the face to the streak. The streak like this is the 22nd year of the streak. I know he's going for 20-0, but this streak started all the way back in 22 years ago, when he first defeated Jake the Snake Roberts at WrestleMania. And to go that whole way and have a screw job, I just think would be the biggest mistake in WWE history. I really think that if they end the streak on a screw job, it would be a monumental mistake. And then on the other side of the coin, if he pins the 1, 2, 3 on Triple H, he's after pinning his best friend out of the match. And where do you work off that? Do you have him go out the next night on Raw and hug it out, or do you have Triple H call him an asshole? But you can't go anywhere with it. You just can't go anywhere because Michaels is done. You know, so I think the match didn't need it. It's Hell in a Cell, two of the biggest legends of all time. It didn't need Michaels as the referee, and I'm a huge Michaels mark. Like, I waited in line in Chicago for nearly 6 hours just to get an autograph from Shawn Michaels. He's not needed in Hell in a Cell. Have him doing something else in Mania. Have him a special guest commentator. We know he can do that. Why can't he be the commentator during Hell in a Cell and you could have got his reactions during it? But it leads me to the point that I think he will do something in the match. I just hope that WWE think long term rather than short term. Short term, they could be thinking, God, if he screws him out the streak, it'd be such a shocking moment. But in 5 or 6 years' time, when people really sit down and think about the streak and the questions asked, how did it stop? It's like, go back to Goldberg's streak. No one really talks about that streak anymore because of the idiotic way it was ended. You know? So, if they end the streak that way, it'd be a joke. And yet, if he pins Triple H 1, 2, 3, then why? Why would he pin his best friend though? And of course, they're going to build up the suspense who made him the referee. Personally, I think not Triple H, I think The Undertaker is going to win at WrestleMania, and I think the streak will go to 20-0. And I think Taker doesn't have much more behind him. I always maintained that Taker's last match will be a WrestleMania 30 against John Cena. I've stayed that for the last 5 years. I just picture that kind of a match between two big names like that. A heel Cena saying that he's the biggest star this company has, and he will have that because he probably will beat The Rock next year at WrestleMania. And when you have that going ahead with the streak, I just think it builds to an unbelievable massive match. And now we go on and I take a look at the WWE Championship between Chris Jericho and CM Punk as they are battling to determine who is the best in the world. I really can't wait for this match as a wrestling fan. I really can't. I think it has the ingredients to be an absolute show stealer. Talked about for years. Talked about in the same breath as WrestleMania 3, Randy Savage and Steamboat. I really honestly think that. But I thought that 2 years ago with Edge and Jericho, and the match fell flat. Do I think this is going to go flat? No. And these are the reasons why. There's 3 reasons I don't think this match will go flat. Number 1, CM Punk has put in a head of a year. He's been going around calling himself the best in the world. You had all that stuff in the summer and then he became champion. He wants to prove that he can be the top guy in that company. And there's no bigger, better stage than WrestleMania, and there's no one better to work with than Chris Jericho. Number 2, Jericho wants to prove that he's still got it. He wants to prove that he can go with someone that's at the top of their game like CM Punk. Jericho's the last guy in the world that will come back for a payday. The last guy. He came back because he wants to work with Punk. And Jericho wants to prove that he can still perform at that level. And number 3, WWE are not really paying much attention to this. They're paying too much attention to Hell in a Cell and to Rock Cena, and this match is just, it's like what happened at WrestleMania 25. There was so much influences on the love triangle between Edge, Big Show and Vicky, and Triple H and Orton over the McMahon's been brought into it. There's so much emphasis on that people forgot, hey, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are on this fucking card. And what the 2 of them do? They went down and blew the roof off the place. And that's what I think is going to happen. So much are interested in Hell in a Cell and Rock Cena that people are not realising, hey, there's a fucking world class wrestling match on this card. And well, I think WWE really run the risk out of WrestleMania. Should go back to that triple threat match between between Cena, Edge and Shaw from 25. The crowd were knackered. No, when you go into WrestleMania 28, Jericho will have a lot of support there, because as I said, they're pure wrestling fans that really respect people like Jericho. So Jericho and Punk, I think, will be so good that the crowd will begin so into it. And then after that you have Hell in a Cell, which the crowd is already going to be divided on, and near the end of that you're going to have the near pinfalls, you're going to have the tombstones and the pedigrees, the 1-2 kickouts. When you get to Rock Cena, the crowd could be knackered. But I'm going more into that on my 3rd update. But really, who I think is going to win the WWE Championship? I think Jericho. I think Jericho will win it, because Extreme Rules is in Chicago, and it'll be way to have a big match in Chicago with Punk Jericho, and Punk win it back. That is, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on a lot of these WrestleMania matches. Will make some good matches. Now, before I go there, I'd just like to talk about a couple of matches I would like to be added to the card. Well, since Santino has won the United States Championship, I'd like to see a 4-way between Zack Ryder, Santino, Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania. I would really like to see a 4-way, or probably even a 6-pack challenge where you throw The Miz and R-Truth in as well. I'd like to see something like that happen. I really want to see Dolph Ziggler on this WrestleMania card. He's put in a fantastic year. The question I have is, where's Henry and Christian and Del Rio going to fit into this WrestleMania? I don't see Christian get on the card. If Del Rio's fit and ready, I see them pushing him on the card. Maybe they might do a thing where they come up on the relay comments Del Rio made towards The Miz. You could have The Miz in the ring bitching and crying that he's not at WrestleMania. Have Del Rio come out and call him a whiny little bitch like he did on the radio. And there you have your match. Rey Mysterio, I don't think is ready for WrestleMania, even though he's been advertised for it. The one person I really feel sorry for is Henry, because he put in a great year. Like him or loathe him, he put in a fantastic year as world champion, and he's going to miss out on WrestleMania. Sad to see. Well, this has been your WrestleMania update. Hopefully I get one out the next couple of days. I did this tonight instead for WrestleMania 23. I do that tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. And thank you, and we're still on the road to WrestleMania, Miami, Florida.
Saddle me up and let's begin. I am a wild one, tame me now. Running with wolves and I'm on the prowl.